Hello everyone, my name's James. I'm one of the keepers here at Paradise Wildlife Park, and we're today going to go and say hello to our two Bactrian camels, Mo and Navas. Now these guys, let's say, are domesticated Bactrian camels. So there are actually different types of Bactrian camels in the world. You have the domesticated and wild. And that's only been recently. In the last couple of years, they originally only thought Bactrian camels were one species. But in the last couple of years, scientists have actually proven that they are two different species, wild and domesticated. So that's what our guys here are, a domesticated species. Now, as I say, it's come up to their birthday. They're 10 years and 9 years old. So Mo here is 10, and Navas at the back there is 9. So they're about middle age. They can get up to around about anywhere between 20 to even up to 40 years old. So they're still quite young and they're adolescent boys. So they like to play fight with each other. So sometimes you'll see each other trying to grab each other a bit around the neck. So you can see Mo here. He's a bit wet around the neck here. They've had a bit of a sparring session, and because they're two boys, they'll play fight. And play fight is to actually practice getting them ready for when they find a female and they have to fight a more dominant male to win them females. So when you've got two boys together, they'll practice on each other and play fight with each other. Now, as you see, they are quite large. They are very large animals, and they're actually the largest animals we have here at Paradise Wildlife Park. And Mo here is actually the largest. He's a little bit heavier than his brother. And let's say he's the biggest animal. He weighs in just under 900 kilos. So you can see there's quite a lot of animal here for that 900 kilo size. And he's not fully grown yet. He'll get a little bit bigger, a little bit weightier. So as coming down and see us, and hopefully over the coming years, he'll get bigger and bigger. Now, with these camels, Bactrian camels, they have two humps. So you can see here, Mo here has these two big, lovely humps. Now, there are different types of camels as well. There's a type of camel called the dromedary camel that only has one hump. So the easiest way to remember which one is which, if you stick Mo here on his bum, the two humps spell out a B for Bactrian. And if you had a dromedary camel, stick that on his bum, you'll have the one hump that spells out a D for dromedary. Now, I don't recommend trying to stick a camel on its bum. It's not the easiest. As I said, they weigh 900 kilos and they wouldn't like it. But if you just turn a B or a D upside down, you'll see what we're talking about. And these humps here, this is what is actually survival technique. So this actually helps them survive in the wild. So a camel will be able to eat any dry, horrible food. And this actually allows them to get as much nutrition from it as possible and turn it to fat. So a lot of people think camel humps are made up of water. But these humps here, they're not water. They are made out of solid fat. They are made out of solid fat, and that allows them, so if there's food goes scarce in the wild, they can feed off that fat in that hump supply. So it's a great way they can go long periods of time without actually eating or even drinking, because they have special cells that allow them to retain water for longer periods as well. So it's a great way to survive in harsh climates. These guys, they come from the Gobi Desert. Now the Gobi Desert can go from minus 40 degrees Celsius to even plus 40 degrees Celsius. So it can get quite hot and also quite cold. So you can see Navas is just joining us here as well. They get a bit jealous, so they do like to, if one's getting attention, then come across and see who's the other one, why are they not getting attention, and try and steal that attention themselves. As you can see, especially whilst I'm in between them here, very large animals, big boys, so they will get bigger. Now, as I said, they come from hot and cold climates. So to help them once again with this hot and cold climate is this big old woolly coat of theirs. So he's just coming up over to the camera. He wants to get a bit more in the limelight. But you can see here they have this big woolly coat. Now this woolly coat, they do actually molt out halfway throughout the year, around springtime, and they molt it out in big thick clumps. And this is so they go down to a really thin coat, a really thin coat to help them go against the hot summer temperatures, where the thick coat helps them against the cold winter temperatures. Another adaptation, we'll say, that the camels have is their big feet. So you can see down here how big their feet are. So they have these big flat feet. This actually allows them to spread all that body weight across the sand. Now, if any of you guys have walked on nice sandy beaches, your feet sinks in that sand, or even on snow, your feet will sink into the snow. And when you're a big animal, that's going to sink even further. So they have them big flat feet to help spread all that weight around, so that they can spread their body weight so they don't slide on through. So now Mo wants a bit more attention and is coming in. But once again, especially now down at the front here, you can see them big feet of his, and they spread out so they can disperse that weight across the sand. This actually allows them to get up to good speeds as well. Like the camel, they don't look the most graceful. If anyone's seen a camel run as well, they don't run very gracefully as well. Their legs go everywhere, but it looks quite hilarious, but they do actually get up to good speeds. And the reason why they're domesticated is because actually camels run a lot quicker over sandy climates and sandy terrains than your horses, because of this spreading their weight across the sand. So people have actually domesticated them over all these years to actually make it a lot easier to transport goods, to just transport across these sandy terrains, to be able to live out there, all down to be able to these adaptations. Now, camels, they're fantastic creatures. Say they're coming up to their birthday, so here at the park we'll make them birthday treats. And some of the ways we do that is make them by cakes. We'll give them special veg or some nice hay enrichment. And the reason why this is because we don't want to give them too much fruit or anything like that. And the reason why this is once they begin, actually out in the wild, they'd be used to thorny plants, dry plants, so not very nutritional plants at all. So if we was to give them too much fruit, they can get diarrhea. So camels here at the park, they have a big hay-based diet, because that makes most of their diet is grasses and hay. And then they'll get a special pellet. And this pellet gives them all the nutrients that they need to get them nice and big and nice and healthy. And here at the park, we also weigh them once a month. So they'll walk onto a set of scales for us, so we can make sure they get a nice healthy weight and make sure they stay nice and healthy and keep looking as good as they do. Okay, so now we're down at the front here. So whilst we're at the front, you can see these big eyes. So camels have very big eyes, and they actually have big eyelashes and multiple eyelids. And this is actually there to help them against the sandstorms. Because when it's really sandy and the wind blows, it's obviously blowing loads of sand up in the air. What's going to happen, all the sand could go in their eyes. So what they can do is actually have these eyelids and eyelashes to help protect their eyes from all this sand. So I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about our camels here at Paradise Wildlife Park today. And what we're going to do is finish up. We're going to leave them on their own so they can go around, they can eat a bit of food. As you can see, they're enjoying a little bit of grass there. Got some hay around the enclosure. They might settle down. So when you see camels sitting down, sometimes you'll see them still chewing. And what they're doing is actually chewing up old food to make sure they get as much nutrients as possible. And they'll do that when they're resting. So we'll leave them to be and let them do anything they want to do. But yeah, when you come on down, they live in the centre of Paradise Wildlife Park in their animal park. So make sure you come and see them. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.